Hey everybody, Andrew here from Pacific Coast Auto, going over the pics from 2 weeks ago from our Facebook contest. If you missed that video, the contest was for people to submit their auction pics to our Facebook page along with their guesses for what they thought the cars would sell for. Whoever's guess is closest to the sold price of the vehicle will be the winner of the contest. We're not using Price is Right rules. It doesn't matter if you were over or under, just closest to the actual price. To figure out who got the closest, we're looking at each person's guess as a percentage of the selling price. So whoever's closest to 100%, that's going to be our winner. Bill Cordy's Mitsubishi Fuso Fighter sold for way more than he thought. It came in at $9,110, making his guess only 29% of the actual selling price. Aaron Coy's Skyline pick was unsold with a high bid of $5,760, so he's out of the running. Raymond Yu's Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 3 was also unsold, this one with a high bid of $6,830. He's out as well. Perry Chappell's guess on the Subaru BRZ-R was quite close. It sold for $13,250, making his guess 101% of the selling price. Sean Bellamy's Hi-Ace Wagon went unsold with a high bid of $4,470, so he is also out. Jake Mellow's guess on the Mitsubishi Pajero Jr. Flying Pug was way too high. It sold for just $540, making his guess 248% of the selling price. Elude Enrique Augusto's guess on the R32 Skyline was pretty close. It sold for $14,270, making his guess 94% of the selling price. Zachary Konopa's pick of the Legacy Wagon went unsold with a high bid of $210. Justin Thomas's Suzuki Carry guess did sell for $1,000, making his guess 71% of the selling price. Nakagawa Miyuki's Honda Civic Type R did sell, going for $9,670. Her guess was 74%. So the winner of our first ever contest is Perry Chappell with his 101% guess on the Subaru BRZ-R. We'll be sending him a message on Facebook to let him know he's won and to get his information so we can mail that box of candy to him. That'll wrap up our first contest, but it won't be our last one. We haven't decided how often we'll be doing these, so keep an eye on our Facebook page because you never know when the next one's going to pop up. Now here's Derek with this week's picks.
Alright guys, it's Derek here and we're back from vacation. That's really cool. I had a great vacation, so I'm glad that I could have some time off, and sorry that we didn't have any videos for the last week of this channel. The views went way down like this. And so now we're going to need to shoot some more reports. In fact, I got one coming up tomorrow of a Skyline R34, and so watch out for that. In the meantime, today, here's the thing. Today was a terrible day. I went out to the port, which I already don't like doing. A bunch of problems happened out there. I'm all frustrated and stuff. I'm supposed to shoot this report or this video before lunchtime, or I'd like to do it before lunchtime, and it's now 5:42, just about time to go home, and then I gotta shoot this and then go pick up the boys. So I didn't look through any of your guys' picks. Andrew picked all of these cars, and I'm just gonna kind of wing it and see how it goes. And so these are your guys' picks from the Facebooks, and 9 vehicles. If this is your first time checking out this video, you guys can go onto our Facebook. You can use this system here to browse all the cars that are at auction. It's like 120,000 per week, and then you can pick the cars up for this video. I guess the prices and tell you a little bit about the condition and a little bit more about the vehicle. This one's probably going to be a little bit faster because of the lack of time that I have. If I don't pick up my kids from daycare, probably the government is going to take them away from me, and that would definitely be a bad thing. Okay, so our first one here is from, oh, I guess this one is the thumbnail one. Hey Andrew, the top one's thumbnail?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a yes. This is from Thomas Wolter. I think this is your first pick, Thomas, and it's a Honda Civic Type R. And I think this one's a little bit special to me because this was the current Civic Type R when I moved to Japan in 2006, and obviously we don't have these in Canada, and so the first time that I saw one, it used to be parked on the walk to work when I was a teacher here in Japan, and so being new to Japan and seeing a Civic Type R and thinking I'm in a wonderland now that I live in Japan was really impressionable, I guess. Okay, so this one, let's have a look here. Lots of pictures, very good. So it's a 2007 Civic Type R, 2000cc engine, auction grade 4 with an interior B, 64,420 kilometers on it. Body looks immaculate. Look at that. Only some scratches on the front bumper, and then it is a pretty low front bumper, and so it's easy to see why. I think Is that an aftermarket front bumper? Geez, I should really know that. But it's definitely an aftermarket hood on it. These headlights are the only ones I think that you can get in Japan, but are very different from the Civic SIR lights from this generation back in Canada and the US. And then the rear spoiler has this black and white. That's original. It wasn't aftermarket. They are aftermarket wheels on it. In fact, different front and back. It looks like Work Emotions on the front and then something on the back. Don't know. And still has its plate on it. Original pearl paint. Interesting and boring sales points. Let's see condition. Wheel caps are missing, or so like the circular piece that goes over the like your wheel bearing. The hood has been modified. Door mirror scratch, wheel scratch, seat wear, windshield rock chip, interior dirty and scratch. Generally not really bad stuff. It says the hood has uneven paint on it, which is pretty common of an aftermarket hood for it to kind of fade within 5 or 6 years after it's been put on. I think it's like if you have a carbon fiber or even an aftermarket fiberglass hood, you really have to stay on the waxing, otherwise the UV is going to kill the paint on it, or the clear coat that's over the carbon fiber. Okay, so yeah, condition seems to be really good. I think 64,000 kilometers for 2007 is not too high and not too low, and so it's good value for money for a car like this. And I don't know the prices of this because we've never had a customer looking for one. They're kind of too new. For mostly we sell cars that are between about 10 and 30 years old. Did just buy a 1972 car that is the best car ever, but I can't mention what it is, and so I'm very sorry about that. Sorry to lead you on like that. It's going to be forever a mystery. Okay, so this one here, starting price $880,000. I think we'll probably see this one in a range of about 1.4 million. So that's going to be my guess. Okay, thank you, Thomas, and congratulations for you for getting the thumbnail there. Okay, next one, Raymond. You picked out this one here. It's a car I really like. This is a Toyota Starlet, and they come with a 1.3 liter inline 4-cylinder turbo engine, and kind of a similar chassis to the Paseo and the Corolla 2, and the Serra. It comes with the E-Series engine, 1.3. It's a good engine. You can modify it for more power. Right out of the box, it's just fast enough to feel like a fast engine, but just slow enough to feel like you need more power. I guess kind of like the current 8.6 engine. Okay, so it's a 1995 Starlet GT Turbo. This is my favorite generation of them. I like the quad headlights on it. And I guess it's kind of modern. It's the second to most modern before the Starlet was discontinued. Maybe my favorite generation is the first generation, because that was still rear-wheel drive. Anyway, auction grade 3.5, interior and exterior B, original black. It's gonna be my wife. Sorry, can't talk to you. Okay, Tom's 14-inch wheels. I actually translated this for a customer. And I remember seeing that and thinking, those wheels are probably going to be impossible to find if you ever wanted to buy them, because 14-inch wheels are just not used these days. And so very cool on that. Has Recaro semi-bucket seat, Kakimoto exhaust, turbo timer, and KYB shocks, but they call them Kayaba shocks. Interesting. Okay, interior dirty, scratched, seat wear, audio's been removed, oil leak, probably nothing major. Exterior paint fade and peeling. Usually the peeling is on the plastic bits like this, and like this, and like this, and this, but it doesn't say exactly where the peeling paint is. It does say uneven paint in the back here, and uneven paint here with some big scratches on the front, and some dents and stuff. Uneven paint on the back, big scratches. Conditions, not perfect. It's not too far gone, I think, so it would be a good budget car. These are not very expensive, and I'm going to guess on this one 150,000 yen for this car. No, 180,000 yen, because that 30,000 yen is going to make a difference. Okay, on to the next one. Also from Raymond Yu and Elijah McDonald, sent in the same car here. And so this one's a Subaru Impreza WRX Wagon. Not the STI, but you can get these in STI form. And this one here, let's see, 1998 would make this a version 5. Yes, version 5. The STI has a bigger spoiler here and a bigger spoiler here, and any car that comes with 2 spoilers on the back, it's just double the cool. But this one is also pretty unique in that it has original wheels, original suspension, original exhaust. These spats are original on the back. Not original tint on the windows, but no, the car looks good. I really like the wagon in the Generation 5 or Generation 6, or I guess version 5, version 6. I think it's a good looking car. And fast wagons are a big thumbs up, in my opinion. My wife says, "Can you bring my Pacific Coast folder home?" I might forget about that. Hope not. Okay, the wagons are usually about 20% less than the sedan, and I guess 30 or 40% less than the 2-door, because they're the most expensive out of all. 89,554 kilometers. STIs will cost more than the WRX, obviously, because they are faster and more stable and better handling, quicker steering rack, all that goodness. Original 16-inch wheels, Momo steering wheel. What is the report? Exterior has some paint fade and some paint peeling. Here it actually says where the paint peeling is, and it's on the roof. Pretty common for Subarus, especially the blue and red ones, but this one's silver, so you won't be able to see the peeling as much. Steering wheel wear, seat wear, door mirrors scratched, all kind of your normal stuff. RA means it's been in an accident, and so right front inner panel and core support are dented, or the actual translation says deformed, but deformed is kind of a word that makes it sound like it's scrap, but it's going to be very mild. Basically what happens is it's in an accident, a body shop repairs it, and then the reason why it says deformed is because it's still slightly visible that there has been a repair there. But in my opinion, it still should be a car that's worth getting. It doesn't have an awful lot of problems. Those pieces weren't deemed destroyed enough to replace them completely. Okay, so, oh man, already 10 minutes in and only on the 3rd car. This is not going as fast as I want it to go. Okay, so Impreza wagon, 90,000, version 5, 340,000 yen on this one. Okay, Perry Chapel. I think you're a returning champion, Perry. And typo here from Andrew, Mazda RX-7. That's on the sheet that you guys can't see. I guess it's not important enough. Okay, so let's show the interior here. And if you do want more time with these cars, they're not going through auction right away. This one's for 4 days from now on the 26th. Comes with an extra picture of spoiler with some bad cracked paint at the bottom. Blah. And insured by Sikon. Okay, so a 1998 RX-7 Type RB Bathurst. And so that's the, I guess, commemoration for dominating in the Bathurst races in Australia. 1300cc, 13B engine, auction grade 3.5 with an interior B. Only this auction does this, but this is a B minus. That's what this one means. 89,779 kilometers, 5-speed manual, rear spoiler, aftermarket exhaust, toll collection box. And quite a few more comments on this than the previous cars. Interior dirty, scratched, wear, rip on the interior or on the seat. Core support, dented. I can't read this one. And it's too late in the day to ask for help from Naoko. Underside surface rust and corrosion, steering wheel peeling, rear seat has been ripped, exterior has some paint fade, shift knob is peeling, and then various wheels, door mirrors, various scratches on there. U2 dent on the roof. Kind of weird. It's a medium dent. Okay, paint cracks on the front bumper and an A3. Also a big dent in the back corner. And here's the thing, you usually can't see dents in the pictures very well, even if it's like this fender that's dented, which it's not, it's this one. But dents have a way of hiding in pictures, and so always refer to this when you want to know about the body condition. I'd say that this body is probably a 6 out of 10 or so. It's not terrible, there's no rust on it or anything. Mileage is reasonable, I guess kind of average or so. 5-speed manual, white's a nice color for this. It's that's weird. I thought 1998 had the later model bumper. When did that change over? Maybe the bumper's been replaced. I don't know. Maybe it's 1999 that got the late model bumper, but I don't really know that. Okay, price for this, it's not going to be as astronomical as the 1992, 1993 ones. Those ones are importable to the USA, so prices spike for those. If you're looking for one of these and you don't live in the USA, make sure you get one from 1994 on. 1994 will be the cheapest. Every year, every couple of years, they got more powerful. I think this is one that's 260-ish, 280-ish horsepower. And price for this one starts at $480. Oh, don't need to see that spoiler again. Oh, extra pictures. There we go. We can see the dent there. Ba-ba-bum. And original wheels. 700,000 yen for this one. On to the next one from Bill Courtney. And ooh, I did see this one in the pics. This is kind of an interesting car. So this one here, it's kind of like an 8.6, but kind of not. So the 8.6 is called the Sprinter Tourneau. A lot of people know that. And the Sprinter had two different versions, actually a few different versions of it, but this one here is the 4-door version of it. And it's an AE 101. And so it still has the 4AG engine in it, but it's a 4-door car, front wheel drive. Still kind of cool, and they're really cheap because people don't really like these that much. This is an auction grade 3, exterior D, interior E, low mileage at 66,409. Importable to the USA pretty soon. This November it will be. This is a 1992 November. I guess kind of a modern car, but doesn't look like the condition's that good. You have P3 on the hood. You can see that clearly in the pictures. P3 on the roof, P2 on the back. You have some rust here. That's C1. Bad paint over here. Underside corrosion. AC doesn't work. Engine room has rust. Wow, this is a car that would be good for vomiting on. Dashboard comes up largely. Let's see if we can see that. Oh, don't give me beach balls. The computer's saying it's too late in the day. You got to go home and pick up your kids. Antenna's been removed, headliner is dirty. Okay, so it looks like a steaming pile of Pop-Tarts. Speaking of which, I bought some Pop-Tarts for my kids. My daughter refused to eat them. And it was a special event because you can't buy them here in Japan. And so this is a steaming pile of Pop-Tarts, censored version, of course. Cool car. I think that this one will only go for 40,000 yen. Maybe a little bit more if somebody wants to yank that engine out and then use that for their 8.6. And that's the good thing about the 8.6 is engines are still plentiful for them. Okay, interesting one, Bill Courtney. On to the next one. And here's something really neat. Sean William Bellamy, everybody knows his name because he always picks so many vehicles. He like waits for the bell to ring and then sends them all in. And then his name popped up when I was checking out Facebook. It turns out that Sean lives in the same city that I grew up in. And this is kind of amazing because that city is in Canada, which is a small country to begin with. I mean, small in population-wise, but my city is like the 40th biggest city. It's like a small, kind of small town. It was when I lived there. It's bigger now. But, yeah, very surprising. And so I was like, what? What? I'm not working right now, am I? This was while I was on vacation. I was getting flashbacks of working too hard. Okay, so what we have here is it's called a Mazda Bongo Friendee. And you know what's funny? You can get a Ford version of this too in Japan, just not the camping version maybe. Now the Bongo Friendee usually comes with a pop-up top and a bed as kind of like the most popular version of it. And this one's like the full camper version with a fiberglass top. Kind of interesting. I wonder if you can sleep up there, because the pop top you can. This one maybe yes, maybe no. Don't know. And so the reason why these are cool is because they're 4-wheel drive, 2.5 liter turbo diesel engine. That's a pretty reliable one. It's full-time 4-wheel drive, and usually the back seats can turn into a full flat bed, but it looks like this one's been removed completely and camping stuff has been put in here. Here's a circuit breaker, your battery box, sink in here. You can see that there's like a couch type thing that turns into a bed. Probably these cushions that are sitting here will go on top here. 2 handles to open the back, because that's cool. And if you've ever tried opening the back with both of those handles at the same time, it's really awkward because your hands are really far away from each other. It's not ergonomical at all. And look at this. There's a little cutout here in the top for this mirror. so that you can open the back hatch and that mirror doesn't smash into the top there. That's thinking. Okay, I think you can get these in a 5-speed manual, but I think that most of them are automatics. I could be wrong about that. Something to check out. And corrosion on the underside is very common on these. This one is no exception. You can see corrosion there. If you are looking at old cars and you want to get good at searching, like, here's the thing, is when a car is 25 years old, there are a lot of them that do have underside corrosion, and you don't want to find a car that you love, send it in, wait for the translation, get the translation back only to find out that it has corrosion on the underside, and then that writes off the vehicle for you. You can usually see an S or a C. C means corrosion, so just scan this and oh, this one's C. Oh, corrosion. Okay, now I know that. Same thing as on the body. You wouldn't believe how many people send in translation requests where there's clearly C3, which is like 3 baseballs worth of rust on the body, and then when you translate it for them, they say, "Oh no, I don't want a car with corrosion on it." When, you know, it's really easy for you to see that. You don't want to waste your time or ours. Anyways, 113, 621 kilometers on it, kind of on the higher side. Paint peeling on the hood here. Condition doesn't look that good. It has accident damage. Left front inner panel deformation or repair marks done to it. Core support has been replaced. Underside surface rust and corrosion. Camping kit has some parts missing from it. Seats have covers on them. Roof has been modified, obviously. Various scratches, dents, rust, paint peeling. The battery is dead. They don't say which battery. This one will have a sub battery as well, or a deep cycle to run while the car is off. Usually they have full-time heater, and this one does, you can see right here, heater in the back, and air conditioning in the back. I don't know if this one does have rear air conditioning. It might not. Camping cars are a little bit hard to buy because this is the only interior picture that you get of this one. In some campers you don't get interior pictures, but you tend to get a good deal on buying campers from auction if you don't mind being that guy that is kind of the gerbil or the guinea pig. You know, sometimes you get a good car and sometimes you get a terrible one when it comes to a camper because there's just so much variance. It's not like a regular car. Like with a regular car, if you see 113 kilometers, 113,000 kilometers, you can get an idea of the condition of that car. But when it comes to a camper, it's a little bit harder because there's just so many more things inside it that can go wrong. And maybe somebody drove the car and lived in it for 5 years without driving it, and so it's got low mileage. Yeah, so riskier but higher reward. Usually the difference between the auction price and a dealer price is $10,000 or $15,000 for a lot of these. Not something like this. This will be on the lower end of the price scale, but definitely get a lot of good savings from buying these from auctions if you're kind of one of those risky people. Oh yeah, dual AC, so it has 2 ACs in it. Okay, price for this one. 520,000 yen is my guess. On to the next one. Also Sean William Bellamy from my hometown and sent in from Justin Thomas. Okay, here's a weird one. Wow, good find, guys. Okay, so the Mazda Carol or the Autozam Carol. Autozam is it's kind of like a sub-model of Mazda that they used for only like 6 years or something. And so a Mazda Carol is a K car. This one here has been made to put wheelchairs into it. So there's a little ramp there for the wheelchair and an extended bubble roof so that it can fit in there. Very, very weird. The Carol to begin with is a weird looking car. They're even small for K cars. They're about 2 feet shorter than the K car limit for the size, and most K cars are exactly at the limit, so almost all of them are the exact same size, and this one's smaller than your average K car, so kind of weird. 1996 Carol, and it's called Slope Wheelchair Car. 88,800 kilometers, auction grade R, interior C, fog lamps, yeah. Okay, and purchased from the user. 8 number car, that means you get cheap registration on it, probably because it's going to be used for a different purpose than just your typical cars. I think it's a 2-seater. It should say, no, 3-seater. I wonder if the wheelchair counts as one of the seats. Okay, seat saggy, underside surface rust, exterior paint fade, engine makes a weird sound, and the engine is broken. That's not going to sell for a lot. End panel is dented, rear side member dented, core support dented. What is that? Something core support. Bolt side core support part replaced? Don't know. And then the body is terrifically bad. U3 here, a U3 here, U3 here, a U3 here. You would think that somebody who uses a wheelchair would be very good at their spatial awareness, especially when the car is this small. It's basically the size of a wheelchair. That is unfortunate. Price for this? Starting price, nothing. Okay, and it's at a cheap auction too. LAA Kansai is probably pretty cheap. Price. 10,000 yen? Good chance this one won't go sold. Very weird. Okay, next one, Jordan Ellis. This is the second to last one. Jordan sent us in a Laurel, which is kind of like a bigger version of the Skyline R33. Popular drift cars. Most of them are autos. You can get them as manuals. They have the RB25 turbo engine in them. This is a 1998 Laurel 2.5 Medalist V turbo. I'm kind of on the side of the Chaser Mark II Cresta. This is the competing Nissan version of that car, kind of the same size, 4-door, powerful, inline 6-cylinder engine, basically the direct competitor. I do like them a lot, but and I mean, I think most people like the Toyota one a little bit better because prices are more expensive for those than they are for the Laurel, even though the engine in the Laurel is pretty lovely. It's an R small, that means a small accident. Most auction houses don't do the R small. JU does. There are lots of JU auctions, but they're all small. Interior C, exterior C, 105, 681 kilometers, 5-speed manual. What does it say here? Aftermarket tail lights. Some parts have been changed over to the late model versions of the parts. Don't know which parts that would be. Kenny wheels. K-O-N-I-G. I think is how you spell that. And then there's 2 dots over the O or something like that. It's like, it's a fairly popular brand. I don't know which ones are the Kenny. Adjustable suspension, total collection box. Originally automatic transmission, changed to a manual. The transmission comes from a Skyline R33 and ECR 33. What do we got here? Windshield rock chip, interior dirty, cigarette burn and wear. Console is cracked. Exterior or aftermarket exhaust. Edge of the ear section doesn't work. I don't know what the ear section would be. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. Excuse me. Underside surface rust. Wheels scratched in the front and back, so different. Rear spoiler paint peeling. Door mirror scratched, and then the electric folding portion of that doesn't work. Various scratches, dents, and repairs. Engine oil leak. Left front inner panel dented, and then the body. Various marks. Most of them seem to be pretty mild. W2 is usually mild. AU1 is mild. There's a U2 here, though. Big scratches on the trunk. Yeah, not that bad. Definitely a good starter car for drifting. I think if you're an amateur drifter, you're wanting a car that has a reliable engine, that parts are cheap for and plentiful, and so this is a good pick for that. It is a 1998, so no US buyers. You are not free enough to buy this car and import it. It has to go to some other country. And the Laurel kind of gets overlooked by a lot of people, and so prices are really not that high. We got a starting price here of 23,000 yen. Here we get to see the RB25, which looks almost exactly like an RB20. So, not much difference there. Okay, looks like a light is out there. What an interior picture. Doesn't really show much, does it? Dusty engine bay, black. The trunks on these are huge, but you can't really see in the picture that much. Okay, price for this, I think we're going to see it somewhere in the range of about 420,000 yen. And we're on to our last one here from Jake Mello. And Jake sent us in this guy. This is a weird one. Okay, so it's a Nissan Vanette. The Vanette is kind of like the Mitsubishi Delica, but the Mazda version, and it might even share components? Oh, I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not. I've never actually seen a Vanette van. I knew that they've been made. The Vanette, they also make a truck version of it, which is a very popular truck here that's kind of halfway between like the K trucks and the 1.5 ton trucks. The payload is like 750 kilograms. And I don't really know that much about the vans, and this is what happens when I go into these videos cold. But these days it's really hard to find the time in order to do research before I shoot these, so it's all off the top of my head. Okay, so 5-speed manual, that sounds pretty awesome. It has a 2-liter diesel engine, 8-seater, Vanette, Wagon, Kappa. Kappa is a Japanese mythical beast. Check it out on Wikipedia if you're interested. Here's a picture of what a Kappa looks like. It has a head, like a bowl on its head that fills with water. And then if the water falls out of the bowl, then the Kappa dies. It's like, yeah, just that. 4-wheel drive, auction grade 3, interior D, exterior D. 270, 870 kilometers, diesel turbo engine, 4-wheel drive, 1 owner, but the engine makes weird sounds, and the fan, what does this say? Fan Schlaveto Hazushi. What? I don't know. Okay. That's one of those other ones that I need an expert advice. I should be able to read all of this, but I just don't know what it is. This character set here is for English words or words from another language other than Japanese. So it should be an English word here, but I don't know what, like fan obviously, but I don't know what this is. Shroud? Ah, okay. So the engine makes some noise, the fan shroud comes off. Okay, so maybe the fan's hitting the fan shroud and that's what the noise is. It's possible. Even, like, sometimes it says engine noise, it is not the engine, it's an accessory. In fact, most of the times when we've bought a car, it wasn't actually internal of the engine when it says engine makes sounds. Still, we don't buy that many cars that have this mark on the auction sheet for obvious reasons. Interior wear, and interior dirty, very large. Largely dirty. Left side door has some corrosion on it. Sunroof has some tape closing it so you can't open it. Underside has corrosion and cracked and painted. Ooh, crack due to corrosion. Very yucky. Okay, body has various scratches on it. Some C2 here, some C3 here, some C2 here, some C3 here, a W3. It looks like about the worst car that you could try buying, and it's not a popular car, and so even if it was in good condition with 270,000 kilometers, it would be cheap. And so starting price 30,000 yen. I'm going to guess 40,000 yen on this. I don't think it's going to sell for, maybe it might even be less than that. Okay, so that's going to be the end there. Thank you everybody for waiting until the end of this video. I went longer than I thought I would. Got to go pick up my kids now, so see you again next week, and for all you people who like our channel, good for you. You guys get to see some new videos coming out this week, so hopefully you're looking forward to that. Alright, so see you again next week.